Today is the day that you get clear on your goals. Today we are going to craft goals that inspire you. Goals that make you excited to get up in the morning and that pull you in spite of every challenge. Let's begin our journey of setting your goals and transforming your aspirations into achievements. Before we get started, I am Layla from ShutUpAndAchieve.com. In this video, we're going to go through some of the most common goal-setting frameworks and choose the right one for your goals. First things first, if you are one of those people who thinks that you have no goals, then you are wrong, because everybody has a goal, and most people have more than one. If you are hungry and looking for something to eat, then getting something to eat becomes your goal. It's a short-term goal, but it's a goal nonetheless. Maybe you're thirsty and want a drink. Did you get into your car with the intention of stopping by a juice bar? Getting that drink becomes your goal. You have a want and create a plan to satisfy that want, and then it becomes a goal. Not every want is a goal, though. Think of it this way. A want is a general direction. It's a big circle on a map, and you saying, I want to end up somewhere around there. A goal is a precise point on the map, and you make a plan to get exactly to that point. Bill Copland said, the trouble with not having a goal is that you can spend your life running up and down the field and never score. So what are your wants? What do you want today? What do you want this week, this month, and this year? What do you want from life in general? Don't worry about it being the right want. You can want anything. Write it down on paper. Even if people think it's silly or people have said, why would you want that? It's your life and your future, and you can choose what you work towards. Now that you know what you want, it's time to turn that want into a goal. And for that, we're going to use some goal-setting frameworks. There are many frameworks for setting goals. The most common and the one that you've definitely heard of is SMART goals, but there are so many more. You have OKR goals, PACT goals, FAST goals, ABC goals, BHAG goals, HARD goals, WOOP goals, and the list goes on and on and on. So what framework should you use for your goals? This flowchart can help you out. First, determine your focus. Do you want to focus when setting your goal on the goal itself or on the plan? If it's the goal you're focused on, does your goal have a deadline? Are you seeking meaning? Or do you have a strong reason to pursue this goal, and is it outside of your comfort zone? If your focus is on the plan, do you have specific obstacles? Do you want to set up a system? Or does your goal have many steps? Following this flowchart, you can choose either SMARTer goals, PACT goals, HARD goals, WOOP goals, FAST goals, or OKR goals. We'll delve deeper into each of these frameworks in the rest of this video. First, let's take a look at SMARTer goals. These are very similar to the SMART goals framework. However, there's an additional 2 letters. The pros of this framework is that it provides detailed descriptions of your goals. It helps you define deadlines and defines ways to measure your progress. It also encourages reflection and evaluation of your goal and progress. The cons, on the other hand, is that it does not define the actions needed to take in order to achieve your goal. This framework does not take into consideration the motivation behind your desire to achieve this goal, and it does not plan ahead for obstacles. If you want to set SMARTer goals, then this is how you do it. The first S stands for specific. What exactly do you want to accomplish? The M stands for measurable. How will you measure your progress, and how will you know you achieved your goal? The A is for achievable. Given your current resources, can you achieve your goal? Can you get the resources needed to achieve it? The R is for relevant. Is now the right time to pursue your goal? Does this goal fit into your overall plans and priorities? T is for time bound. This is where you'll set your deadline. So what is your time frame for reaching your milestones and for reaching the goal? So far, this is the SMART framework that you already are familiar with. But here is where it differs. E is for evaluated. After a certain period of time, you should determine your progress towards your goal. Are you on track? Is the plan that you set working? When and how will you evaluate your goal and your progress toward it? Finally comes R, and this R stands for rewarding. What will you gain from achieving this goal? Why do you want to achieve it? The second framework we're looking at today is PACT goals, or PACT goals. The PACT framework focuses on the why of your goal and the actions needed to achieve it. The pros of this framework is that it focuses on the deeper meaning of your goals, the why behind your goals, your motivation to achieve them, and it defines the actions that you need to take to achieve it. Furthermore, it encourages continuous progress towards goals. It also defines ways to monitor your progress. On the downside, PACT goals are not specific or detailed, and this method does not set a deadline. It also does not plan ahead for obstacles, and it lacks metrics on how progress is measured. To set PACT goals, you need to answer the following questions. The first is, how is this goal purposeful? Why are you pursuing this goal, and how will pursuing it change your life? The A stands for actionable. Is the result based on actions you take? How will you break this goal into actionable steps? Next comes C for continuous. What continuous actions will you take to achieve this goal, and what habits and routines will you develop? PACT goals focus on routines and habits because success is not the result of a one-time action. It's all about what you do repeatedly. The final letter, T, stands for trackable. How will you track your progress, and how often will you evaluate it? Our next framework is WOOP, WOOP goals. These goals define the obstacles before you face them and prepares you to overcome them. The pros of this method is that it plans for obstacles ahead of time. It encourages devising a plan to achieve your goal, and it takes a general wish and transforms it into a specific goal. The cons of this method is that it does not set a deadline. It lacks clarity on how progress is measured, and it doesn't take into consideration your motivation for achieving this goal. To set a WOOP goal, you first determine what you wish to achieve, and then you get more specific. What is the exact outcome that you're going after? What obstacles do you expect to face along the way, and how will you overcome them? Finally, what is your plan? What are the exact steps that you need to take to overcome the obstacles and achieve your goal? This is a really hard question to answer, but having a plan, specifically a plan to overcome obstacles, will pay off in the long term. Moving on to the next framework, HARD goals, HARD. This framework is all for goals that are motivating and challenging. These goals will push you out of your comfort zone. The pros of this framework is that it focuses on the deeper meaning of goals, just like PACT goals. But these goals also challenge you to exert your comfort zone. On the downside, these goals are not specific or detailed. They don't set a deadline, and they don't plan ahead for obstacles. Furthermore, they lack metrics on how to measure your progress. Let's see what each of these letters stand for. The H stands for heartfelt. What does this goal mean to you, and what emotion does it evoke within you? A is for animated. Visualize your life after achieving this goal. How will your life change? R is for required. Why do you need to achieve this goal? And what do you need in order to achieve this goal? Finally, the D is for difficult. Does this goal challenge you? How will it help you grow? As you can see, hard goals focus more on the motivation behind the goal and not the goal itself. Fast goals, on the other hand, focus on efficacy. These goals focus on what's important and the actions that bring the most success. The upside of this framework is that it keeps you focused on what matters most, and it defines the actions needed to achieve your goal. It also defines method for tracking your progress. The cons of this method is that the goals are not specific or detailed. It does not set a deadline, and it does not plan ahead for obstacles. Furthermore, it doesn't focus on your motivation. Let's take a deeper look at FAST goals. The F stands for focus. So what activities will drive the greatest progress? And what activities should you focus on? The A is for action. How you break the goal down into bite-sized actionable tasks. The S stands for system. Just like PAC goals, FAST goals focus on habits and routines that ensure that you continue to make progress. T is for tracking. How will you track your progress? With this framework, you'll be able to determine what actions will give you the most results and how you can incorporate them into your routines. Furthermore, by determining how you'll track your progress, you ensure that you know exactly what results you want to see. Next up, we have OKR goals. The OKR framework stands for Objectives and Key Results, and it's used by big organizations like Google. This framework keeps you focused on the big goal and helps you define smaller actions that will help you achieve it. The pros of this method is that it keeps the bigger goal in mind when defining smaller goals that contribute to it, and it encourages setting metrics to measure progress. The cons of this framework is that it does not set a deadline, it does not plan ahead for obstacles, and it does not take into consideration your motivation. Here's how you can set OKR goals. First, define your objective. What is your vision? What is the main goal that you want to achieve? And then set your key results. What smaller goals need to be achieved in order for you to achieve the bigger objective? If you want to set goals using any of these frameworks, then you can download these templates through the link below. And that concludes our video for today. If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. If you're looking for a tool that will help you set goals and break it down into actionable steps, then you should check out the Goal Tracker 2.0.